Well, hello, good evening, welcome back to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxford, back in the show is GB. How we doing, GB?
Good, mate, good. A game of two halves, mate, huh?
I think we'll split that into a game of 4 quarters, mate, if I'm being honest, yeah?
Aye, probably, mate, yep.
We had first good quarters, middle third quarter was poor, and then the last quarter was acceptable, but a convincing victory. Should have been more convincing, and we gave ourselves our own problems in a silly 10 minutes, mate. We were losing possession. I'll give you my thoughts. Young Raskin, I thought it was a decent game first half because the whole team played well. We've seen how he never started last week. He's still no fit, mate. I don't know how long it could take us to get fit. He'd gone after 50 minutes.
Aye.
I don't know what your thoughts. And then he started getting the ball away cheaply, and that turned the game a wee bit and gave him any power. It wasn't just his fault. There was other players doing the same thing, but you could see that he'll be a better player once he gets fit, mate. But I thought the shining light of the day for me was Todd Cantwell. So I have to apologise to Mr. Fox. It looks as if he might have been right. Well, I don't like to say that, GB. But anyway, give us your thoughts before we get the phone lines on.
Ox, I mean, I was really pleased to see us get the win in the first half. I mean, it was good to see us playing really high tempo. Raskin, again, just winning balls back in that first half. You could see he was sharp in the first half, and like you say, mate, as the game went on, he did tire. I mean, you could see that he wasn't just as crisp the second half. Cantwell, again, I think he had a great game. We talked about tactics, mate, at the start, the pre-match show, and I honestly felt that the tactics kind of went out the window a wee bit. That there's players all over the park. I don't think they were in any of the positions that we felt that the formation was. I think obviously, I mean, at times I've seen Cantwell near a defence. Jack was a defender at one point. Raskin was a defender. You know what I mean? So they all were moving about, which was good because it didn't affect play, mate. And like I said, I felt Big Cholak was really unlucky not to have probably a couple in the first half as well. If Fashion just made a couple of the right decisions.
Fashion had a hat trick, mate, or he should have laid one on the plate for Cholak, yeah.
Aye, he was screaming at him. I don't know if you noticed that he was kicking the post and all that.
He wasn't a happy bunny.
No, and even when Cholak set up Fashion for his goal, he was speaking to Fashion after. He's like, "Do you understand how?"
Aye, that's what pass it to me and I'll pass it to you. We'll both score, no?
Mm-hmm. Aye, it was good though. I mean, that's what it is. That's all about team building and stuff like that. But as we say, mate, the first half, brilliant. We go in 3-0 up. You're thinking, brilliant. We'll be able to make some of the changes that we talked about. Maybe early in the second half. And again, we just start sticky in the second half, Ox. Like you says, that other quarter, and Kilmarnock get a goal for sloppy slate pace again. So mate, a wee bit disappointed really in the second half, mate. I thought we would have went on and smashed them another 3, to be honest.
I was looking for a similar performance in the second half. I know that you're going to start thinking about Wednesday's game. I understand it, but we set standards and we didn't keep them for that 20 minutes roughly. Mm-hmm. 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes. Half of the second half. I think we were slow in the substitution. So I suppose the manager didn't want to throw him under the bus by taking him off when he'd gone. But I think there was a lot of pluses today. Good to see John Suter on the park. Obviously, Hatchie came on, the two of them weren't involved, but they're back on the park. I think Big Cholak done enough for me to show that he can be an asset for us going forward. And with him being so immaculate turned out, we don't need to play Scott right. So that one.
But mate, it's the end of the debate as well. There's a big question of Cholak can he fit in a Beale's system and stuff like that. I think the day kind of proved it did. It was just unfortunate that, let's say, between some people's decision making for him and him just sometimes just getting the ball falling at his feet. I mean, he had, before Golson put the ball away, he had a cracking shot, and if 9 times out of 10 that's getting buried, isn't it? I mean, so.
But also if you think about it, we scored 4 goals today. One was chopped half, and 2 of them came through passes for Cholak.
Yeah, he was involved, mate, and that wee bit of play with Kent as well. This shows you that the two of them were in sync. I mean, so partnerships to be made, mate, and hopefully that he can hold on to his shirt, mate.
Mm-hmm. I will see what it takes us. All right, if it's all right with you, we'll get these phone lines opened.
Yeah, mate, it'd be good to hear for the Bears.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Todd Cantwell's got something about him, if I'm honest. When he plays well, he makes the game look very, very easy. He gets the ball under control. He runs well with the ball. He nicks it off of players. He works hard. He's looking for passes. He's looking when he passes it. He's always on the move, mate. A great performance with him. Don't want to get carried away because I did think that Kilmarnock were poor, if I'm being honest. And I'll also be honest with you, mate. I didn't think it was much a penalty, even with VAR. Yeah, I don't know what you thought.
It's one of the. See if it was against like your player that happened, then I don't think we'd be shouting for it, Ox. I think it's just. I mean, the ball comes there and it's two players coming together. I don't know what the players meant to do in that situation. I think it's a harsh one. I get Cholak was screaming at the referee to keep looking. And to be honest, he's right in that sense because the rules are the rules. Cholak's basically saying that there's a penalty to be looked at there. And we get it and we take it, Ox. Any other team would be taking it off of us. So I suppose we are well within our rights to take it today. But it was a harsh one. But again, the rules are the rules until they change it, mate.
I actually thought the one when Cholak shot and hit Ash Taylor on the ground could have been a penalty. Not that I thought it was a penalty, but gone with the one that was geared against Cholak, against Partick Thistle, you just don't know what's going to happen now. But anyway, we started the game, we get the goal. A decent set play, Gary, for my corner kick, and Cantwell does well, has a couple of shots at it, and then it falls to corner and puts it in. So we're 1-0 up and we're on our way. Fashion had 2 chances in between then, mate. I think you agree, he should have passed it to Cholak when he had the shot, yeah?
Yep, aye, mate. And if he doesn't pass it, Ox, he's got to bury it, hasn't he? He's got to take it himself and score. So I felt sorry for Cholak there. And then the other one, I don't know, it's a cross into it. He just needs a bigger fit, and then he's probably putting it at the back of the net at that point. But again, I think Jonathan Johansson on the RTV was saying that he should have put it away, mate. So that's a striker telling you that it should have been a goal as well.
He should have hit the target.
Aye.
Hit the target, and if the goal makes a miraculous save, well, it is what it is. But if you don't hit the target, you'll never score. So second goal, a ball in for Cantwell when they sort of sprung on his kit. Tab was still at the park. Fashion does one of his mad leaps. The defenders, as they clear it, it falls, gets touched into Cholak, and he lays it back to Fashion, who shoots arguably the hardest, because of the players in front of him, the hardest chance he had out of the 3, and he puts it away.
And that's just Fashion, isn't it? I mean, he's one of the players. But again, he pops up the day and scores a goal. It was a well-placed goal, Oxford, right, mate? It's he had to place it perfectly to get it through all the players and the goal at the same time. But fantastic with Cholak to have the vision to set it up for him just to bang it away. Again, good to see that there's more to Rangers than just Alfredo and Fashion and Kent Oxlade. That you touched on the corner. No, to go away from what you're speaking about, but you touched on the corner. That was a good bit of different invention. The quick pass and let's say a couple of shots on it, and it breaks for Golson, and Golson gets a goal today. So it was great to see a bit of invention for Rangers today. And like it says, we get the second goal and we move on to that penalty.
Aye, so we get the second goal. We're playing well. We're not on the ball, but well, we're wanting to go into 2-0 at half time, I think, and then we get the penalty, a bonus, in my opinion, and then we goes 3-0 up, and I'm saying, right, this is it. Go and get the fourth in the first 15-20 minutes of the second half. We can get Suter on, Hadji on, Arfield on,
Yep.
And we can really kick on, refresh the midfield, give guys a rest, get people on for minutes, everything. But we struggled for that period, and Lundstrom come on and done okay. I mean, we criticised him last week. He actually looked as if he moved better than he did last Sunday, if I'm being honest. GB.
Ox, I mean, he coming on at 70 minutes, Raskin's time was definitely up, and Lundstrom, he had a bit of lucky determination about him today. He was definitely more concentrating on his passing. I noticed that when he was getting the ball, he was making sure the pass was made directly to the next player and stuff like that. So, again, last week's probably been a good kick up the bum for him. But again, as much as that Kilmarnock got that goal, Ox, I just felt as though we kind of fell back into that system where we were we didn't have any ideas again, and which was strange because
we stopped passing the ball, mate. Simple as that. We stopped passing the ball. We were lethargic. The boy had ran his race, you know, and it's the substitution should have been made 10 minutes earlier, mate. As simple as that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in my opinion, I mean, other people might see it differently.
Well, especially as we said last week that, like say, Cantwell and Raskin couldn't start the game, and yet they start the game and we were expecting them to last the full 90. I mean, it's a strange one, especially when you're seeing that, Ox, especially when you're seeing Kilmarnock come into the game a bit, which, to be honest, I agree with you, Ox. Kilmarnock were poor today. There wasn't much offering for them, but they're just a big lumpy a team, aren't they?
Oh, mate, everything that's wrong with Scottish football. They've got guys in there that can't play, and you know, they're just big and you know, we'll never develop footballers, that's their attitude, you know, but then they'll say they have to set themselves up to do the best for them. It's no problem, you know.
No.
We'll be better than that. But if we'd have carried on the way we've done the first half, we'd have scored more goals and we'd have won more comfortable. But we didn't. But we won the game, and that's your aim. But just that middle quarter after half time, it's cause for concerns. And I don't want to pick holes in a decent performance out of the piece, but that middle quarter, the second half of half time, mate, was a real concern because we really fell out the game, GB.
Do you know that, Ox, like I says, I was looking for the performance the first half because I wasn't too worried about the second half performances because we usually turn up the second half performances. But the day was a total switch around. I mean, if we had scored 3 goals in the second half, we probably would have had a different conversation, don't know. But because we were 3-0 up at half time, you're expecting, like you says, getting that, maybe even had you on the park to try and get the minutes up and start creating a line with Cantwell and stuff like that in the second half. But I don't know what it is. I don't know why we switch off, because especially against a lower opposition, you would think that even the fringe players, well, not so much fringe players, the players that know had a lot of minutes would be champing the bit to try and get more goals. I mean, again, if they get more goals and they hold on to that shot, Ox, then it's harder for anybody else to take it off them. But again, there's still that vulnerability about us, and it's something the manager needs to look at, Ox. I think, like you says, it might be just making the substitutions quicker till we get the fitness up in the players that we're already starting with. There was
times, I mean, Tavin Golson had a mad 20 minutes where things never went well for him in possession. Ryan got caught 2 times, and Raskin, you could see that he'd run his race and he started getting the ball very cheaply and couldn't move it quickly, and people got on top of him. So you've got to react, mate. Especially now in modern football, you've got 5 subs. You know, 5 subs. Part of the game now is to have people ready to go in quickly, because you've got 5. It's not as if you make a substitution, you've got 1 player, 1 there for emergencies. You've got 4 to make and 1 back for emergencies, GB.
Well, even like you say, so Oxford, the Lundstrom substitution, you make that. Well, what Dorset scored at 60 minutes, right? So even if we're starting to see the game slip at that point, you'd think he would be straight on the now with getting Lundstrom on there, so he's basically helping cement that and get the energy back up in the midfield. But he let it go, and like I says, we didn't see Lundstrom get on the park till the 70th minute. I mean, that's an extra 10 minutes after they score, so we're already creating more pressure for ourselves, which again, like you says, we don't need to. I just think that he could have easily put Hadji onto that game today. I don't think Kilmarnock would have pestered Hadji too much.
He's not putting them on at 3-1, mate, in case we lose another goal.
Exactly, mate.
Aye.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3-0 up, mate. He's looking for us to get another goal. Then he can put Suter on, Hadji, Arfield, maybe even Morelos, you know.
And that was the disappointment, Ox. because we ended up making the substitutions that we wanted at 94 minutes. You know what I mean? And by that point, I mean, the guys are just coming on for a wave, aren't they? I mean, back half the part. So I said that pre-match that I wanted guys to get some extra minutes, especially off the bench, like Suter, Hadji and stuff like that, and it never came to fruition. And it's all down to a rain downfall again in the second half. But I mean, a win is a win, Ox. I don't want to be negative, but I just like I say, we should be. You say setting the standards, and the standards should have been second half the same as the first half. We should have went out and smashed him at another 2 at least.
Aye, exactly, mate, exactly. You know, and I'll be interested to see what people's thoughts are on it, mate. You know, I thought Cantwell was worth the admission money. The way he controls the ball and the way he runs, he passes it, he comes in, he passes it, and he spins, and he's looking to hurt teams. And I think he'll only get better and better, mate.
Cantwell, I'm really pleased that we've got him in the January window, Ox, because you can tell that he needs game time, doesn't he? He needs. The now we're seeing the nice wee touches and he is performing, but you can tell there's more to come for that boy. I mean, if that boy, as he's gone forward, I think he will score his goals as well, Ox, and amongst that. He's not really shown that yet, but you can tell he's a creative player. And like I said to you today, I mean, we're talking about tactics, but that boy was back playing, I think, right back at one point, and he was.
He works hard as well, mate.
Aye, all over the park. I mean, so I think, like I say, this period that we've got him now, as long as we keep giving him game time and he goes into this summer, into a pre-season, I think we will start to see another Todd Cantwell. I mean, I think there will be more to come for this boy.
Yeah, and you've seen his pace, mate. I think it was a corner. He stopped the ball going out for a corner when he sprinted and kept it in. A goal kick.
Aye.
When he sprinted back, you can see he's got genuine pace for a midfielder, you know. So I'm there to come for him. Raskin, let's just wait and see where we go. Let the boy build up his fitness. He hadn't played since November. He done okay in the first half, and then after 5 minutes, maybe a wee bit more, he went for me. So we'll see what it takes. As other people might see it different, GB. That's the way I see it.
Raskin, Ox, I mean, like I says, I had a fantastic first half, and that was probably because he had all the energy in him. I mean, I think, like you say, he just started tailing off the second half because he's not been playing 90 minutes. Even that the team he's came for, he wasn't starting. I mean, he was just basically taking himself out with training. So as he came into Rangers, and we were trying to get him up to speed, and it will come, Ox, because what I liked about Raskin today is, see, when he lost the ball, he would run after the guy and he would win the ball back and he would get his back up the park again. I mean, so he doesn't stop him. And another thing I liked about him as well, see, when he was going in for challenges, he knows it's good that he switched on to the Scottish game already, because he was standing back for the Kilmarnock players, putting his hands up and stuff like that to show the referee, look, I'm not touching this guy and this guy's going down easily. And to be fair to the ref at that point, he did let the play continue. He didn't give Kilmarnock the kind of sneaky fouls and all that.
Some strange decisions, mate. Some strange decisions.
Oh, he's poor. He's poor, but what I would say is, at least Raskin was showing him, look, by the way, this is what's going on. It's cheating going on.
The boy Power should be booked. I think it was Cantwell.
Mm-hmm.
He went in front of him, stopped him taking a free kick, standing in front of him. It's a booking.
Even the Raskin one, Ox, when he went in, he won the ball. He won the ball. It was him who put his foot through the ball and won the ball. And the two Kilmarnock players took Raskin down, and yet Colin was going on to Raskin about it was him injured the Kilmarnock player. And then you're like, he didn't even touch him. It was two Kilmarnock players were going on him, and Raskin was that quick that he got the ball off.
If I'm being honest, the worst decision I've seen came for the linesman when Fashion done one of their players and it looked a foul all day long to Kilmarnock and they gave us the free kick. I couldn't believe it. I was happy with it. I couldn't believe it.
I seen McInnes shaking his head as well. I don't
know what they see. I don't know what they see sometimes. Anyway, good first half, poor 20 minutes and a decent last quarter, mate, where we opened them up again and maybe should have scored more goals, you know.
I think, again, Choak, Ox, in that kind of last period, there was just too many players running about. We had a couple of shots come up. In fact, that one for outside the box, it was I've not seen a Rangers player hit a shot like that in ages. I don't know if you can remember it, but he was second half outside the box, maybe about the 70-minute mark. He smashed one and it went straight at the keeper, but at least it was a shot on target. I mean, if he hit it any crisper, it probably would have been a goal. But it was good to see that, again, just a bit of variety in the team today. I mean, folk taking chances, like you says, Cantwell doing tricks and moving about, Raskin. Who else? Kent to a certain extent was okay. Ox. Again, he does a lot of running about.
Some good, some bad. Some good, some bad, mate. Yeah.
Again, it just needs to find his stride or find his link up front. Ox. I just think that there was a time when him, Hadji and Reels together just seemed to be totally in sync, and I think Kent's just no got that way anybody they know. He's just probably maybe because he's moving about too much, but I did like the whole Cholak Kent move. That one for the goal was brilliant.
I think him and Cantwell, you can see that they join up quite well. You know, they're comfortable. They know they can play the ball at each other because the two of them have got they've got control of the ball. Initially, you know, Kent can control it, but what he does after that's open for debate.
Mm-hmm.
But his control's all right. But he done okay at times. No, but some good, some bad. You know.
Can I make one small criticism just on Fashion? And like I says, the guy tried his heart out and he got his a goal today and stuff like that. But what I did notice today, Ox, like say you're talking there about Cantwell and Ken and Raskin and probably Cholak to a certain extent, they've all got this kind of footballing brain, right? They seem to just be that a better understanding of how somebody's moving and how somebody's passing. And Fashion sometimes they just didn't seem to be on the same wavelength as them. I mean, it seemed like they seemed like the professional player and he seemed like the amateur the day. And I hate saying it like that, but it's just I feel as though Fashion sometimes needs a wee bit of
decision making, mate. That's his decision making.
In the classroom work kind of thing.
Well, no, I don't. The thing is, you've just got to see the picture, and it's difficult because people can't teach you. You can either draw, you can't, GB.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a bit like that. You know, but you see everything that in Fashion. But that shot that he had, brilliant pass. I think it was Ben Davis. Great run by Fashion, pulls it down, controls it through the goalie. It's a decent shot, but the goalie should save it, and he should just roll it to the guy. You've seen everything about Fashion. Then he shows his strength when Cantwell plays the ball in, and he makes a leap that only Fashion could do. That worries their defence. Doesn't touch the ball because he's panic, because he's leaped. Yeah, because he's likely to do something, and then it falls to him. A harder finish or a harder decision than the one he's missed, and then he scores a great goal. That's Fashion, mate. That's what you're going to get with him, mate.
And I accept that, Ox. It's just sometimes when I was watching the game today, it just seemed like good, talented players, if you know what I mean. They seem to have that kind of one step ahead. That's the word I was looking for. They're one step ahead, and sometimes Fashion doesn't seem to be that on that same wavelength. Sometimes,
no, but he'll do something that's just out of this world, then he'll follow the ball, and that's Fashion. But he causes carnage, mate. He had them worried in the first half. In the second half, as we played poor, he fell out the game a bit because we didn't get the ball and we didn't feed him, and you know. Anyway, Cantwell man of the match for me, mate.
All day long, Ox. Total workhorse today, didn't stop. Like I say, he's contributed massively to the team today.
And I've got a few runners up in there. I'm between. I thought Cholak done very well the first half. I was pleased with him, but I thought Ben Davis strolled it, and Ryan Jack showed. You know, I thought Ryan Jack did a decent game as well.
Right, I will. Ryan Jack for me, Ox, like defensive wise, I thought it was brilliant. I mean, he kind of controlled where he needed to control. Cholak probably just did the edge it, but like I says, just I think the second half kind of Kenny didn't show me what he needed for that extra goal that I was looking for off him. I think if he got a goal today, then he'd probably been up there along Cantwell for me, Ox. But Ryan Jack past March, Ox. We just need to keep him fit. He's definitely a mainstay in that team, but we just need to keep him fit, mate.
I don't disagree with that, mate. You've got to keep them fit, We've got to keep them off fit. And a shout out to John Suter who get back on the park. I didn't think we'd see him this season, but he's back on the park. Yeah.
And interesting, it was the substitution for Ben Davis as well, Ox. I
wouldn't read too much into that, but again, I don't think they've been fair because he's right-sided. If they're going to put him on and give him minutes, it's Connor that should take off.
That's how I was questioning it, Ox, because I know Suter is the right-sided player, but I mean, Davis, I think, like you say, had a brilliant game and all. But I hope Suter's not that kind of guy that's always got to get the substitution for Ben Davis. I mean, I know he's there to support, but let's be fair to Suter, isn't it? If we're going to put him on, then we've got to give him a fair crack at the whip, mate.
I'm sure the managers at half times get all sorts of pictures in his head. We keep going, we'll get the next goal, and then we'll make substitutions because we go 4 up. I'm sure he was thinking that, but obviously we never had a good start to the second half. And that's cause for concern, JB.
It's mere learnings for the manager, Ox. He's definitely got what I says. I thought he'd nailed it today with the perfect start with the first half. But again, we do. I think that we've done that a few times now. We've came out in the second half and we've been a wee bit lacklustre. We've started slow when we should really be just keeping the same tempo. Because, like you say, Ox, say for talk's sake, we get that 4th goal within the first 10 minutes, the second half, then Kilmarnock are done. I mean, Kilmarnock, you're not going to be saying them. Whereas they've came out in the second half wanting to win the second half in a sense. You know what I mean? And they made a bit of a fight for it. I mean, that first, like he says, 20 minutes, and they should never be troubling us. No, after the way we played in that first half.
Mate, if you wait up, mate, they won the second half 1-0, mate.
Aye, well, that's what I'm saying, and that's no good enough, Fox. I mean, no, the way what I says was how we played that first half. I thought it was going to be an easy second half. I thought it would be all the deck chairs out for us in the second half. And I thought, like say, even a Hadji or something, I would have got a good 20 minutes in him because I didn't think he had nothing really to worry about in that kind of game. You know what I mean? If he came on against Kilmarnock, but. Let's say, Zox, we've come off a hard week. We've went out in there and got the 3 goals. We've came away with no injuries, hopefully. And like I say, it's just another food for thought for the manager, isn't it?
I'm glad you mentioned the manager. Let's hear for our gaffer, Michael.
Michael, your thoughts on that performance this afternoon?
Happy with the 3 points. Keeps that run going in the league, which is important. It was nice to get the win after a difficult week. I thought first half in particular were very good. Game petered out a bit second half.
Yeah, and to get that early goal must have been really pleasing too, and to go and build on that in the first half.
Yeah, Harry works hard with the boys on the set plays. I thought it was well worked, and we obviously got a couple of shots in, 2 or 3 off, a couple off Todd, 1 off of Tony, and then Connor's there poaching one and scoring, which was a nice way to start the game. I thought we started well and we played with good energy, and we were worthy of our 3-0 lead at half time.
Yeah, and Kilmarnock obviously got that goal back in the second half, but the squad continued to create chances, but just were unable to really get another goal in there.
Yeah, I think you saw that 1 or 2 of ours were out of, lacking a little bit in legs in second half. We put a lot of energy into the first half and a lot's gone into the week. So we'll get ready now for a tough game away to Hibs on Wednesday. That's my focus right now.
Yeah, and you touched on it before the game. It obviously had been a difficult week for the players, but how pleased were you with the togetherness they showed in that week and then today in this game?
Yeah, it's important. Now, they go out and play, and it's important they've got to pick themselves up off a difficult week. We try as a staff, but the most important thing is to go and play the next game. I thought first half we were very, very good. You could see that Kilmarnock come to try and frustrate us, but we obviously the early goal from the set play helps. And I thought we had some good play, and at times our last pass let us down, but I was pleased with the first half.
And at the very end there, John Suter came back on in his return from injury. How happy are you for him?
Yeah, because John's a really, really good player. He's had a real tough time with injuries. No football player wants to be injured. He's had a really tough time. I've seen since I've come in the building, he's been a really top teammate to to his fellow players when he's not been playing, and it's nice to see him get out there today. And he's only been back training with the group for a couple of weeks, so it is the start of him picking up on his fitness. And but no, it's lovely to have him back. Similar to Yanis, these boys have been lost to the team the whole season. It's important we don't rush them now because we want them back for the long term.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Pretty fair. I don't like the bit that we're leggy after 70 minutes, but
I was going to say, it's as if he's been reading your mind there, or listening in what we've been saying, Ox. He's seen that we're being leggy at the 70 minutes, so why let it get to that when you've got John Lundstrom and Glenn Kamara sitting on your bench? I mean, if they guys have got any point to prove for last week, they think they'd be chomping at the bit to get on to give the team that energy. I mean,
if we're leggy as a team after 70 minutes, we made one substitute.
Mm-hmm. Aye, because it was only John. I mean, aye. It's I don't. That's what I'm saying, Ox. He's a hard man to read sometimes, isn't he? You don't understand his tactics sometimes. I mean, even with Gerrard beside him, you question the substitutions, but Gerrard always seemed to be consistent with his substitutions when he done them. Beale, I don't know. I think sometimes he waits to see if the players will change it, and maybe he should sometimes trust his gut. I mean, and just go for it. I mean, just change it early. And I mean, like you say, Sox, what's the worst that's going to happen? Say he changes it, he's still got another 4 guys there he can put on the park to bring it back. You mean, and then again, Kilmarnock weren't overly troubling us. So it's probably the perfect game for him to try things rather than wait till, like say, Wednesday night. I mean, like say Hibs and stuff like that. You don't want to be testing anything in a game like that. Whereas we had total control of Kilmarnock today. So aye, big question marks there that side of things, Ox.
Well, they'll be learning about the players, Beale, as he gets to see them in matches. I think you learn more about people in games than you do in training sessions, DB.
Yeah, and you've said that before, Ox. I mean, we were talking about who he picks and all that, and you've said that they don't pick a team through how they train during the week. It's what they do in the games and stuff like that, how they contribute in a match day and stuff like that. So, one thing, hopefully that's got more minutes into Raskin, and I think, to be honest, Ox, Raskin and Cantwell hold their positions, mate. That's the midfield I want to see. Jack as well, to be honest, if he stays fit, then he gets to stay in that midfield as well, don't he? Because it was a good engine in the first half, Ox.
It'll be interesting to see what happens, I think we need a bit more fluidity in our shape, mate. I think we changed our shape against last Saturday, and we have to look to maybe change more often at different horses for courses. There's got to be a place for Todd Cantwell on our side. I don't know how you fit him in fit Malik Tillman in, but there's got to be a place for a fit Todd Cantwell to be playing. And then we picked up other news that Alex Lowry's out for another 4 weeks. So we just can't catch a break, mate,
If there's one thing that needs to be looked at in the summer, Ox, is definitely the medical side. I mean, I don't know what we've done during that 55 season, but please bring that back, because that was the only season I've ever seen Rangers where we just seemed to... We maybe lost a guy for a couple of weeks, but we always had them back, and we always seemed to have a big, fit squad that season.
If you look at it, but Hollander, Jack, I think there was players in and out even then, but bizarre as it seems, but all the best to Alex Lowry, and I hope he gets fit and ready to kick on pre-season and maybe for next season, because we know the boys get talent.
That's the sad thing, Ox, isn't it? The games are whittling down now. I mean, as much as it's good to see players coming back, we're probably not going to get a chance to see a lot of them now to the new season, and a lot of them have got to hit the ground running, because it's going to be there's not going to be many places up for grabs, Ox. I don't think that this summer there's going to be, like I says, I think Neil will have the players that he wants in that team, and if you're not pulling your weight, then I don't think you'll be there, mate.
Well, as I said, there'll be a lot of people gone nowhere because of the money they're on, mate. But we'll see where it takes us. But a decent performance for the piece of the day for 3/4 of the match, in my opinion. Done enough to easily win the game and should have won by more goals, GB.
Yeah, Ox. The whole Cholak, are you glad that he's kind of came back in and maybe settled that debate that he can work in a Beale team? For me, that was probably a big plus for me today as well. He definitely contributed highly to the team today, and like I says, he's very unlucky not to have 2 of his own goals today. So for me, he holds the shirt, Ox, and hopefully that's something we can build on with him.
No, he was involved. He was involved in 2 of the 3 goals, wasn't he? Let's think.
The build-up.
Not so much the. Was it him who put it back to Canwell for the corner kick? Did he come short and play it to Canwell? I can't remember if it was him or not.
Well,
so
it was his shot. It was his shot. Broke to Golson. You mean? So aye.
No, was it no Canwell? Canwell had the 2 shots.
I think Cholak had one as well at that point as well. Cholak had Cantwell had 2. Then Cholak battered one as well. And
I didn't see that again, but he was involved, and then it was always involved in Fashion's goal. He was involved with Mind Jack, the goal get chopped off. I thought he had a decent game with the piece, and if we feed him, he'll score. And he had a couple of half chances, no real snips. He looks as if he's a team player. He looks as if he gives you everything he's got, and I don't see any reason he'll only get better for us if he stays fit, and he looks fitter than. When you look back to that Dundee United game, we should never have played them. Some of the decisions are just, silly in my opinion.
It did look a lot sharper the day, Oxy. It was definitely as soon as some of the passes that was played through and that, he was on his toes right away. I mean, and like I says, he had a contribution, I suppose, to the penalty because he never let Colin forget about it. He was right in his ear constantly about it until he finally looked at VAR. So I'm pleased for the big man. Like I says, I think he's a cracking striker and definitely gives us something different up front, Ox. And like I says, if we can just get him firing again, or like I says, the way he's contributing today, then I think it will only help the team go forward and into obviously Wednesday night, and hopefully he can take the game to Hibs as well.
I'd be interested to see what the setup is against Hibs. Will Lundstrom come back in? Be interesting. Even though bizarre as it seems, he played for about 20 minutes and he looked more mobile than he did last Sunday. Maybe it's the heat of the battle and you're not caught up in the emotions. I don't know, but just what it looked like to me. You seen him when he closed down power. I don't think he'd done that once last week.
No. Again, he'll know, Ox, especially the manager kind of doing what he done today with the midfield, starting Raskin, starting Cantwell. I mean, and he's benched. If he knows he's fully fit and he's getting benched, then his question marks will come into his head. He say, well, maybe I need to do a wee bit more here. And one thing, he might have possibly thought he wasn't going to get on the day. So when he gets that kind of 20 minutes to come on and impress, then he's like I says, for sure he wasn't going to make any mistakes. Like I said, I noticed his passing was 10 times better than what it's been. It was on the money the day when he was making sure he was passing to a player. So, good. Like I say, sometimes players need it. Sometimes players need to kick up the bum to try and fight for their position again.
No, competition for places is the what you want, mate. Yeah.
Well, it's what the manager's been craving for that as well.
I've just asked Fox, is there any cause? He says no, we won.
It's all the feel good factor today. I know. And Ox, to be fair to the callers, right? I'm looking at my notes, right, and I've got everything written down for the first half. The second half, I've kind of got like just question marks and dots. You mean, so there's not much to talk about in that second half. I mean, as much as we kind of dominated the last part, but it wasn't really a big spectacle, was it? The second half.
the big talking point of the day will be the Super Six.
How did the big man get on?
Failed again.
Oh,
Failed
man.
But there's a story within the story. I can't tell yet because one of the technical team waits to watch match of the day, you know.
Oh, right, okay. I bet you he swapped a team in the last minute. That's what's been.
There's a story within the story, but ultimately he had some winners and some draws.
So the callers will let you tune in on Monday night to find out the big mystery.
No, they'll all know. They'll all know what the story is because they know what he took. But, no, but ultimately it's March, heading towards April, and not one Super Six or postseason, mate. Not one, GB.
Maybe we should be looking at getting him sacked. We wait to get a board meeting and get him out and get a new Super Six.
He offered his resignation. Oh, fair play to the big game. He has a go, and it's a bit of fun.
Well, that's mate, and it's luck, isn't it? I mean, we're talking about our team, how they turn up sometimes. I mean, how can you expect the luck of the draw with some of the teams he picks and stuff like that, man? For myself, before I've went and always looked at the top of the table, and you think it's a set, and the next minute it's a bottom of the league beat them. It's crazy.
I know, but it is what it is, you know. But I think it's not as easy as you think getting 6 results up, especially when he's gone try to get some decent prices involved in him. But his reputation's on the line as the season moves on. You know, I thought there was some strange decisions in that game. We've won the game 3-1, you know, and I go back to the foul. Rangers the linesman gave that. Yeah, and for me, it was a foul against the Cala. You know, I think he did foul the boy personally, but other people might see it different. And then what you see with Colin is, in, you know, he doesn't book players. The boy power box, Cantwell taking a free kick. It's just a yellow card, mate. It's a yellow card.
Mm-hmm.
That's the punishment for doing that. Stopping the game for and blocking a free kick. Cantwell kicked to Affle. It's a yellow card. And I just don't understand. He's a strange referee, mate.
Oh, I don't know. Did they give a yellow card to the one as well? Cantwell got chopped down with the other Kilmarnock player in the second half. Remember the one that Cantwell had beat him?
No.
The boy just basically ran up and just basically chopped his legs. He didn't attempt to play the ball or nothing. And all the Kilmarnock players were all around our players kind of arguing the point. I'm like, hold on a minute. Like, the boy's away and you've totally chopped him. And yet Colin was standing right there, right next to it. And I'm sure he never gave any card for that either. Mental. And this is what happens, like, as much as we want good players on our team and stuff like that, no whether we can attract better level of player, because this is what they get landed with. They don't get the chance to play the beautiful game, as they call it, because, like I say, you're up against a team like Kilmarnock today, and like they're no caring if they go out and injure a player. I mean, they're just going in pure hammer throws and just taking they're just like, well, we broke up play, and that's how we get through the game.
Then what they do is they fall down, they go down.
Mm-hmm.
When nobody touches them, and the referees are, as soon as there's any contact, they go down. Yeah.
And that's what Raskin was trying to exploit today. That's what my point was earlier. Is that
he's picked up quite quickly. Keep your hands away. Don't foul. Don't give cheap fouls. I mean, there is a time in a professional game of football when you break play up and you foul people, and you know you're 2-0 up with 5 minutes to go, and you just want to stop the game, slow it down. You do. That's part of the game. Whether you like it or you think it's vintage football, it's part of the game. I've just had a text for the big South Side. He says he's not available for the next 2 weeks. He's out injured.
Is that a 46-week one? He's away to see a specialist tonight.
Needs to see something, mate. Yeah. You know, but I thought it was strange. I mean, we've won the game 3-1 today. It's no particularly altered the run of the game, but for me, that's a booking with power all day long. Simple booking, frustrating booking for any team you get. No going away for a free kick. Somebody kicks it half you. It's a booking.
Even the McGregor one as well, Ox, the one that he got felled down near his box. He was just getting waved away. Yeah, McGregor was absolutely dealing with him, and he even went up and spoke to him at the end of the game about it as well, and he was just giving him nonsense. And I don't think McGregor was having any at the end of the game, from what I could see. But I don't know, Ox. You mean you get that side there, and then the next minute, like you says, you get the poor penalty. I mean, and you're like, where is the common sense? You mean, and the whole refereeing of a game.
No, we'll win the game. We're not blaming the referee for the result. We're not.
No.
Could have been claiming for the guy in the goal, but obviously VAR checked it. I've seen it. We should have done better, mate. We can't get left that exposed. I need to see who that was again, because he did get jumped. I've only seen it in the replay. I need to study it again. But we're not saying that the decisions were right or wrong. We're talking about the general performance, mate. Poor.
Aye, just like it says, they're no that way. Coleman's no good, the greatest at the best of times anyway, Ox. You mean, so like it says, I don't think we can expect anything less for that. You mean?
He's not the best, is he? He's not the best, you know. And that's a nothing decision for me in the halfway line. But what it does is it stops somebody who's physical, where that power is, for beating silly challenges, because he should have been booked, in my opinion. Yeah.
Well, Ox, it changes their outlook as well. Like if they've got a player or a couple of players sitting on a yellow card, I mean, they're not going to be as gun-ho and they're not going to be doing the silly challenges. Again, it allows our players to maybe play like say Cantwell's stuff like that, can maybe test them there. You mean, so it does it again. We're trying to sell the product, Ox, right? And when people are tuning in and all they're seeing is harsh tackles and players getting chopped down all the time. I mean, there's a reason why the Premier League gets looked at all the time, because of how they play the football and how fast it is and the nice free-flowing football and stuff. And I'm not saying that it's got to be that way all the time, but sometimes, like I say, if you're turning up to Ibrox and you're expecting to get beat, at least try and go and put a performance on. Why turn up and be hammer throwers? I don't get that. As a professional, I think I'd be wanting to go out and show the best side of me, because at the end of the day, there'll be somebody watching that. I mean, there could be a scout, there could be a manager or whatever, and they'll just switch it off, Fox. I mean, so I don't see how you progress your career either side, if you know what I mean, with that kind of play.
I get what you're saying, and also if you're a Kilmarnock fan, you'd wonder why they didn't play what they did at the start of the first half. The second half, sorry, the whole game, you know.
Aye, come out, like it says, full pelt and getting stuck in and stuff like that. And well, when I say stuck in, not so much doing the rash challenges they're doing, but at least they came out and they tried to play. You know what I mean? And like it says, as a Kilmarnock fan, I mean, is that what you?
They played for about 20 minutes because they pushed up higher up the park. I didn't think they played particularly well then. I thought it was just sloppiness. It gave them away. There was nobody in their team impressed me at all.
Well, as our manager stated, mate, the legs went first, didn't it? You mean? And
well, that's a problem then. That's a problem about the fitness. It's a problem about selection. It's a problem about the substitutions, and that all falls back to the manager, mate, already. You know?
It falls back.
You've got to pick your words wisely when you're speaking, mate.
Well, on the training side of it as well. You mean the manager's brought in the guys that he's put in charge of different departments, right? So he should be going questioning him as well. The
trouble is, mate, he's had a couple of weeks in, with the break with the World Cup. Since then, that really this time of this year, you're not doing that much training, mate. You're not you're trying to do your games, get knocks sorted, get people's stretching and strains sorted. You're working on things tactically. You're not really doing the miles in the legs as such, mate. You're doing a wee bit only to take over, no?
Aye, yeah, I get that, mate. I get it. Well, end of the day, Ox, we've went for a defeat to a win the day, and it was far better. And now we know we've got a midfield there that we can actually build for. I mean, we've got two young boys there, Raskin and Cantwell. still early 20s. I mean, and for what I can see, Oxford's still got to be a lot more to come for them.
25, Cantwell, 25, mate.
25 and 22 for Raskin it is now. So, I mean, I say it's a good age for Cantwell. Ox probably got to get to see the best years of him, hopefully. And Raskin, like I say, is the day. Just the way he runs back and wins the ball back and stuff like that, doesn't give up. It was really, really good to see.
Right, I'll go this way. I thought Cantwell was excellent. There's meant to come for him. I'll reserve judgment in Raskin. There you go, GB. I'll reserve judgment in Raskin and let the boy get fit. Hopefully, there's more to come and things get better and better for him. Yeah, because I thought he had a decent first half, and then we've seen that he's not quite fit. I'm not going to say that. I don't think he's a bad player. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying just give the boy a bit of time, yeah.
Oh, I think, like I say, Ox, it's been good that we've got the tournament in the January window, because I think this period being at the club will do them no harm. I mean, I think the learning the Scottish game, being involved in cup finals and stuff like that, will give them a taste of what to expect come the summer. I mean, because like I says, when they go into this pre-season, they need to come back and it needs to be all guns blazing. And like I says, I think a game like the day is probably a prime example for them to show them what they're going to be up against, especially like I says, the hard work they've got to put in to break a Kilmarnock team down and stuff like that. So, but it needs to be 90 minutes, Ox. Manager needs to use the squad wisely. We can't burn players out, and like I says, we should be better. Like I says, in the substitutions and stuff like that, because it would have been good to get like I says, a couple of players on maybe 65 minutes, and like I says, build on it and get another couple of goals and just build on that confidence, Ox.
We never. When the game's done. Listen, GB, thanks for taking the time. Yeah.
No hassle, mate. Thanks for having us on, bud.
No, not at all, mate. Not at all. Always great to speak to you, mate. Thanks to Fox and Old School Boy for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back on Monday between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Remember, never forgive and never forget. Take it away, Old School Boy.
Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. Won't you come and cheer us? Help the boys along. White and blue, coming through with a song. Oh, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. We'll be there to do it, do it if we can. Win the cup, hold it up in our hands. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay.